Beginning resynchronization.
Hello and welcome to Resync, a podcast where friends talk about games. I'm Sam.
My boy! And I'm Chase.
And I'm Kelly. I'm back again. We negotiated a deal with my lawyer, you guys.
Yeah, there was a lot of litigation involved. It took a while, and I mean, we might never recover, but we have you back.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, you guys. You know, it really means so much to me that, you know, you were willing to incur so much legal debt simply to have me on the podcast.
Crazy that you would force us into that as my fiance.
Yeah, I don't know. What can I say?
That debt will be yours in 2027.
So that's coming back to you real quick.
But today's episode is going to have some different vibes. It's nighttime this time. We usually record in the morning, but we had to be a little flexible with our scheduling this time around. So the vibes are different.
Yeah,
Why are yeah, I was about to say, why are the vibes different?
yeah,
Someone want to explain?
I'll take that one. Was a long day at work, and you know, I figured I needed a little drinky poo to keep the spirits up, and I may have been a bad influence on the rest of the cast.
Not a bad influence, just an influence. We're all a little,
just an influence.
we're all a little tippy.
A good influence, I dare say.
But today we're going to be talking about our final thoughts on Metroid Fusion, and then closing thoughts will be games of shame. We're going to end the episode talking about our shameful backlogs and all the games that we've bought that we've never touched. Or not all of them, but some of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. You all know how that feels, I'm sure.
Yeah. What can it also be games that we've touched like only a little bit? Is that allowed?
Yeah, like a slight caress.
Okay,
That,
great.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, it's pretty shameful to just give it a little touch and then
Yeah.
pull away. So.
Yeah, you know what? I've lots of games that I've looked at, bit my lip,
Wait.
winked, then looked away.
It's an average day at work for me and Sam.
And the vibes will be very different this episode.
Oh God.
All right. So, Kelly, you were the one who assigned us this game homework. I have now beat the game. It's been 3 weeks since Chase beat the game and 1 week since you beat the game. What are your questions for the game homework you assigned to us?
This question is mostly for you at this point, Sam, I think, because Chase was already finished with the game in its entirety last time that I asked this question. So now that you've like completely finished the game, does it still hold up to like other Metroidvanias, would you say? Like were you happy with the fights? Like when you got to the very hardest boss fight at the end, did you still have that feeling of like, I worked really hard to win this fight and I beat it? Or were you just like, man, fuck this fight?
Well, I think it held up for sure. I really enjoyed Metroid Fusion in its entirety. I would actually go ahead and say that the final fight that you were referring to was not the hardest one for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going to jump in on that and say
Yeah.
I'm disappointed to hear that. As the only one that did not know the easiest trick for this fight, I wanted to know how that played out for you.
So I guess we can just name and shame this boss. Kelly, which boss are you referring to?
Oh, SAX. At the very end of the game.
No, I am referring to the Omega Metroid at the final boss of the game.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I actually understand why that would be an issue for you when you didn't know you could stand still and angle your shots.
Yeah. So does my statement from the prior episode about charging at it like a large animal and then backing up and continuing to charge at it make a little bit of sense?
I fully understand where you were coming from with that. I beat it so fast.
God.
So did I, Chase. That's why it didn't even register in my brain, because I just absolutely beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, no, you know what? Behind the tears here, I'm gonna pat myself on the back and say that I beat some of these bosses with a handicap that nobody else had. So
That's
You,
true.
no, for sure you did. And also, you completed the game faster than both of us.
True.
Even
Yeah.
with that.
Well, and that's a perfect way to shift into talking about those ending statistics that we had. Kelly, I know you don't quite remember yours exactly, but I think we know how long it took you to beat the game at least. So, Chase, you beat the game first.
yes,
What was your time?
I completed Metroid Fusion in 4 hours and 19 minutes.
Kelly, you beat it second. What was your time?
My time was about 7.5 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 7 hours because we're using the same Switch, so I saw your save file. I think it was 7 hours and 19 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
And then my clear time was 6 hours and 17 minutes. So, a decent variation or a decent variety of quickness and slowness. I don't know what the average completion time for this game is, but I feel like your time was pretty fast, Chase.
Yeah, I think I had talked to you about this after we recorded that episode, but after recording it, there was a part of me that was like, oh God, I need to look up what the times for this game are, because I feel like people are gonna listen to that and be like, there's no way. Which I believe this is purely off memory. I think the average time on it is around the 6 to 8 hour mark.
Okay, so you were decently fast,
You
and
went-
I was,
Yeah.
we were average.
but I will say, not that quick as most speed runners clear in under 3 hours.
Damn.
So I don't. Maybe this is my sign. That's my calling. I need to
Metroid
shift
Fusion.
into 100% no glitch runs.
There's one more statistic from the clear time screen, and Kelly, I know you just have an estimate of what yours might be, but Chase, what was your rate for collecting items? Your percentage of that?
I came in at 45%.
Yeah,
Okay.
and right behind you, right on your heels, I came in at 43%.
Okay, that's really embarrassing for me that I took the longest and also had the lowest percentage.
Well, what is your estimate for collecting items?
Well, originally I thought it was 17%, and then you, Sam, you were like, that sounds really low.
Well, I don't know it could have been that, if that's what you remember.
Well, I don't know. For some reason, my mind immediately goes to 17, but I feel like that's not right because I did have a lot of stuff. I discovered a decent amount of add-ons. For people who haven't played Metroid Fusion, it measures things that you find when you're traveling around this station and you're trying to complete missions around the station. When you go to different sectors and things like that, you find a container that helps you carry more missiles, carry more bombs. It makes your energy capacity larger. And so then it gives you that statistic at the end of the game for here's all the extra shit that you collected.
Yeah, how many of those secrets did you find is what it tracks. And it's crazy to find out that there's more than half remaining for us.
Yeah, well, and because I know that I've already brought this up, it makes me wonder what a 100% collection rate looks like, because I had at least 175, if not 200 missile capacity by the end.
I think I ended with 155, I believe it was 100, either 145 or 155 missiles. And then I didn't count how many little energy blips I had for my health.
Yeah.
I really don't know how much I had, but all I do know is that I'm pretty sure that I actually ended somewhere in the mid 30%. So again, I cannot reiterate the amount of, that's kind of embarrassing that I feel that I had the longest completion time and lowest extra shit percentage.
Well, think about it this way. It took you longer because you were using less resources. You had
That's
I
true.
was
You
gonna
had
say,
less-
you had a handicap of your own.
Yeah,
I did.
Going
you had
into
less
boss
missiles
fights.
and
It's self-inflicted.
health.
Less health.
So,
Yeah.
so Kelly, which was the boss you were referring to when you said the SAX was the hardest boss for you?
Yes. Well, okay. I don't know. We get kind of in the weeds there because then SAX is probably my least favorite boss because then we get back to the territory of when we originally talked about Metroid. And I was like, don't worry, there's going to be a time when you guys play this game where you're going to be yelling, illegal, illegal. SAX is the illegal boss for me now, apparently. But the ginormous crazy spider was probably my least favorite.
Ghetto X, yeah.
Yeah, because that spider, I freaking hate that spider.
Yeah, that spider was a pretty tough fight.
Yeah.
That one took me maybe the second or third longest to beat. My least favorite fight, I don't know what it was about it, but my least favorite fight with SAX, like following close behind it, was Nightmare X.
Oh, I hate Nightmare.
That big robot TV head.
Yeah.
God.
Weird, like cyber organic weird thing.
Gets all
Yeah.
melty and gross at the end of the boss fight.
Yeah, you knock off its mask and it has a weird melty green face.
Yeah.
That one took me quite a while. I think it took me a long time to figure out what the actual strats were on how to fight it. And I was just getting caught in a corner
Yes.
and it would just like dog on me.
Well, and because the thing about that fight, the Nightmare fight, is that like even when you have a good idea of like, okay, the best strat is to just keep moving counterclockwise around the room and force this freaking monster to chase me in a wide circle where I have this inner circle where I can avoid it, is that, yes, that is the strat. That's the easiest way to complete the fight, is that like, even if you're like, okay, I have this in my head, this is how I'm going to do it, it still comes down to chance.
I didn't even complete it that way.
Well,
No.
What? How did you complete
Inner
it?
circle? What do you mean inner circle?
Yeah, like if you just keep moving around clockwise in the
Oh.
room, then he like whips
Yeah.
around and can't catch
Inner
you.
circle made me think you were like staying in the middle of the map. But no, I get you. You were going
No.
you were circling around the map.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I finally figured out that I had to do that. But for the longest time with Nightmare X, the problem for me was that I forget about the charge pulse thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to shoot fucking missiles at it for most of the time. And the problem with that, listeners, is that Nightmare X has a gravity manipulation thing
Oh.
that negates missiles. So I was doing this fight over and over and over again, just forgetting about one of the main attacks that you had where you can charge up your laser pulse or like whatever it's called. And for like, I would say 7 to 8 attempts, didn't even cross my mind to use that. And then I think, around maybe, I didn't count, but like probably between 15 and 20 attempts, I finally beat it after I started using those laser pulses, the charged blast.
Well, and in your defense, I think probably one of the reasons that you were lulled into that sense of false security with it is because they kind of trick you with it at the beginning. Because at the very beginning of the fight, you can't, like, the gravity, he hasn't made gravity, like,
Yeah.
crazy yet. So you can beat the shit out of him with your missiles.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
suddenly you can't. And then you're like, okay, well, what do I do now?
Well, and I noticed that.
Yeah.
But my problem wasn't a false sense of security. My problem was a complete omission from my memory that I could charge beam. Mm-hmm. So that was my problem with that fight. And maybe it wasn't super hard after I figured that out, but it was my least favorite fight.
Everything about talking about Metroid Fusion is so in a friend of mine's Discord, I have the nickname of bricks as utensils. And
Is that
This
like a
is-
brute force?
yeah. And so this is really sending that home for me because I didn't realize he affects gravity.
What do
I-
you mean?
I wasn't throwing missiles a single time. Just charge beam, maybe.
Okay. Well, that was the right tactic.
Yeah.
Charge beam is the
But
way
so-
to go.
Yeah.
It's further. You didn't learn about the wall jump. didn't pay attention to my own keybinds to understand that I could stand still and angle my shots. And didn't realize an entire feature of a boss. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to replay every game I've ever played again with you guys in tandem so that you guys can be like, yeah, no, this is how that works. And I can be like, oh, wow, okay.
Well, that's crazy. I had no idea.
We had that whole conversation talking about tutorialization, and I was talking about gamer sense, and like, yeah, no, I've got
I know
got a good grip on these things.
I know how games work.
I know how games work because I don't let them tell me no.
You got, what is it? Bricks for
Bricks
utensils?
is utensils.
It's just a debuff that you have.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't.
We gotta get you a shirt for Christmas where it's just like a stick figure guy and he's like holding up his hands like he's shrugging, but he's just got bricks for hands.
I don't know what I did.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
In case of emergency, grab me. I'll break it, not the glass.
Well, and like I was saying with Nightmare kind of like being annoying in terms of like you can get him to whip around the boss fight arena like in a big old circle and then avoid him for the most part because he does a lot of damage when he hits you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He does a lot of damage when he hits you. And it comes down to like where you are in the room when he starts moving. Because if
dude.
you're placed in an unfortunate way and he starts coming at you diagonally, there's no chance in hell he's going to start going in a circle. He's just going to whip back and forth like a freaking boomerang.
I got stuck in the corner so many times
Yeah.
in that fight.
Yeah.
And it was just the end for me.
I know we talked about the Ghetto.
Yeah,
Ghetto
the
X.
spider.
That boss fight gave all three of us a pretty good run for our money.
Yeah.
Nightmare was, as the name implies, a nightmare
Yeah.
of you bringing up, just circle the arena. And that is 100% like the intended, as far as I could tell, like pathing for like dealing with this fight. But like you said, it's still comes down to chance because there were so many times where it's like I had him the entire time we were going in a nice circle, and then all of a sudden he would
Just
dash
directly
just
dash
a
into
little
you.
too quick, and it was like, well,
I'm
it's
cooked
over
now. Yeah.
There's no getting out of this.
Well, and speaking of that ginormous spider, let me ask you something that Sam said to me after he completed that fight. That was my moment of, you can shoot diagonally? Did you know that when the spider picks you up, if you wiggle your analog stick left to right, you can break free of that?
Not analog stick. I just did the D-pad.
He just kept going left to right, like just spamming left to right before the spider could slam him, and then it let him go. Did you know you could do that? Because I didn't, and I fucking crashed out over it.
I didn't, because you know what I thought the intended method there was when you were grabbed? Because if I remember correctly, or maybe this was just me, either when it grabs you or just when I was getting grabbed, I would be in ball form a lot. I would just sit and try and spam bombs, and it didn't do anything. So I was like, oh, I'm doing it wrong.
No, yeah, you gotta spam left and right, and then you'll wiggle your way out, and he'll drop you.
Or you just bash your head into the wall until he dies.
Yeah, so, dude, if you're bricks for utensils, I don't know, I must be rocks or something, because I'm...
A rock.
A rock. I'm in the same boat, apparently, because literally this freaking spider was the hardest boss for me to beat in the entire game. I think I spent almost an entire day like live texting Sam throughout my day about how many times I had tried to beat this fucking spider, and like I kept dying. I was literally like, I was getting so pissed about it.
The crash out was real.
The crash out was so real. And then he goes, oh yeah, because then when you go left and right, then it drops you. And I was like,
So, huh?
I said, what?
That's also reminiscent of your face when you walked into the room when I was fighting Saris, and I was just hanging from the ceiling in one spot as it was diving past me, and I was just angled shot, like taking him down.
Yeah, dude. This shit made me so mad because I was literally just like, okay, now I have to wait for Saris to dash towards me, and then I'll shoot it head on, and then I'll jump really high, and then it'll all be okay. He's just hanging from the freaking monkey bars,
I'm chilling.
diagonally shooting down missile, and hitting it. I was like,
See, we all know I can't diagonal my shots without being in motion. So funny that your tactic was hanging from the ceiling, because by the end of it, after I think I said that I had beaten the fight like 3 or 4 times just to die right after.
Yeah.
Before I could get to the save room. My tactic by the end of just having to like repeat that fight was I was staying underwater
I
down
did
on
that
the
for a
bottom
while,
and just
too.
jumping over stuff and blasting him right in the face when he would come at me.
For a long time, my efforts were focused on staying in the bottom left corner. I would wait for Saris to like dive down or come up, and I would try to hit him as he was coming down.
Yep.
I'm all about the high ground, baby. I don't know what it is about me, but I've always been like that in video games. It transfers over in just about every single video game I play. In Skyrim, I'm the stealthy ranger. I'm standing above everyone and shooting them before they can see me. In Hollow Knight, I'm always wall jumping, trying to hit people from above so they can't hit me as easily. Literally, even in Tomb Raider, which is a game that we all know at this point that I have an irrational amount of fear towards. I refuse to be on the ground in Tomb Raider. I must be in a tree.
Well, and for the listener, I don't quite know if this has been brought up, but what exactly are you afraid of in that game?
That doesn't feel like a fair question.
So, yeah,
Well, you said
we've
it.
Definitely never discussed it.
You said
What-
it. You brought it to the
what's-
podcast.
what's scary
What are you
about it?
scared about?
I don't like the wolves.
I remember.
I really don't like the wolves in Tomb Raider.
I remember in the first year of our relationship, you were playing Tomb Raider, and I was in the other room, and I heard you audibly screech, like fear screech, and I got up and rushed into the office to see you like in tears trying to kill the wolves in Tomb Raider.
I was not in tears.
You may have been a little bit.
I was maybe okay.
But then I remember just saying like, "Oh my gosh, you're really afraid of the wolves in Tomb Raider." And you turned to me. No, I didn't think you were joking, but like I didn't think it was like real fear. I thought it was like, "Oh, I don't like this." But it's like it was like terror.
Yeah, and then it was really funny when I got my Apple Watch, which has a heart rate monitor, and then I replayed Tomb Raider, and I would pause my game to show Sam my heart monitor. Yeah, I don't like the wolves in Tomb Raider. If anyone, listen, let me tell you what. If anyone else in the world is scared of the wolves in Tomb Raider, you're not alone. I get it.
So, do you have any more questions about our thoughts on Metroid Fusion before we move along to a different segment?
Unfortunately, I kind of already exhausted all of my questions when we were talking about Metroid Fusion last time, other than just like, hey, did you guys also hate this boss?
So I'll actually throw out a question because I definitely going into Metroid Fusion not knowing that like we were going to get that statistics page at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had already stated it in our first talk about Metroid, and you refuted me, but it was like, you're much more Metroidvania minded than I am, like as far as like seeking out those kinds of games.
Well, I guess not 45%.
Well, so that's what I was gonna question is I know that you started kind of like putting your nose to the grindstone to make sure that you had it completed so that we could do this. Do you think that impacted your final score in that way?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think if I wasn't beating it to be able to talk about it today, and like I did wait to like finish it. I waited until earlier today to finish the game, so it was fresh in my mind to talk about. I think if I was just like really going through it, I would have probably gone through and made sure that every little section of the map was unlocked. Every little section was like either pink or green. I would have been a lot more like completionist about it if it weren't for the podcast. But I also might not have finished the game if it wasn't for the podcast. So I think and it's not because I wouldn't have enjoyed the game, but just like the podcast gives me the motivation to like keep playing a game, even if it's like good. It's like with any book that I try to read. Sometimes I'll really enjoy a book, but the motivation to sit down and read, and sometimes the motivation to sit down and play a game, especially when it's like me and Kelly are sharing a Switch, so I don't always have access to it. But yeah, I feel like I probably would have had a slightly higher number. There was a lot of very hidden stuff, though, if we only got 43 and 45% item collection, because I thought I was doing pretty good finding stuff. But, oh, that's one thing. at one point I did look up a video of somebody fighting a boss, not for them to tell me how to do it, just to see like what the phases were. And something I got spoiled just by looking at this person's playthrough of that fight was that they had 2 rows of health.
What?
They had 2 rows. So there were that many energy boxes. Did you have more health?
I didn't have the full 2 rows, but I think I was close because I definitely had like 8 extra bars.
Yeah, I was still within the first row for sure.
Man, I bet that sure made the boss fights easier.
No. I mean, generally, like, yeah, I guarantee, like, not getting one shot by a boss,
Yeah.
but like, even so,
Well, and
like,
especially if you have brick for hands
Yeah.
and concrete for shoes, like Chase
concrete
did.
for shoes. Yeah, because like that's even with like roughly 8 or 9 counting like your initial health bar for energy pool. I think the Omega Metroid hit for like 3 full bars. So I mean, even then it was like yeah, I bought myself a little bit more time, but if I can't figure out how to avoid this, I'm cooked.
Omega Metroid is Big Dragon, right?
It was the final thing. That you fight.
The very final.
The dragon.
Well, prior
Ripley is the dragon.
I was gonna say prior to Omega Metroid, there is Ripley, which is because I think
It's like a pterodactyl looking thing.
I was gonna say I think I in a weird way might actually have some of the most Metroid knowledge. Ridley with a D.
Oh yeah, Ridley.
Has been showing up since the very first Metroid. He is a space pirate.
Oh, cool.
That is like essentially like Samus's arch rival, but not like rival and like Pokemon rivals, but rival of their consistently butting heads and trying to kill each other. But he's appeared in I want to say just about every Metroid, to my knowledge. I obviously haven't played very many, but yeah, he is, when you first assigned this as gamer homework, and I hadn't gotten into it, but you had played a little bit, that was something I had asked you, and you didn't spoil for me, but I was like, is Ridley back in this? Because it seems like he wouldn't be with the, like, story, but...
I gotta be real, I had absolutely no idea who you were. Well, first and foremost, I wasn't there yet, and secondly, I was like, I don't know who that is.
Is that maybe?
I was like, I have no clue.
Oh, well, then... You know, that reminds me, I do have one other question, because I know when we were first getting into it, before we had recorded our initial thoughts, I had brought up to you, Sam, that while I didn't feel like I was missing any story information for this Metroid, I thought it was interesting that Samus kept bringing up an old, I want to say CO, a different commanding officer she had been under at one point. What did you think of the like semi-twist of the AI who has been guiding you has been like a recreation of him, and by the end,
like an uploaded consciousness.
He realizes to a degree and has more of that personality back.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was actually one aspect of this game that I was gonna go over in my overall thoughts. Is like the story was pretty good. I thought the story was pretty good at keeping me interested in what was going on. And then with that like twist where the AI that's like giving you all your missions starts to be like kind of adversarial, I was like, ooh, yeah, I kind of saw this coming, but I like it. Yeah. And then when I think at the end it even like just openly states that the AI was the uploaded consciousness of your old CO.
Yeah.
Which was I did like that. And also the little addition that the animals you saved turned the ship on for him.
Yes, they're the ones that save your life.
Yeah. He's like, I had a little help from your friends.
Yeah. Well, and I had the very unique experience of I was on my lunch break today when he was beating this game. And so right before he went up to fight SAX, he was in the navigation room talking to this AI, realizing like, oh, wait. You go save the world. Any questions, lady? And so, like, I was sitting next to him when that happened, and he said, and I quote, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
whoa.
it.
I'm exciting when I play games.
Dude, well, you just brought it up and, like, verified for me so I don't sound as, like, goofy saying this, is what I really liked about how they kind of brought that all around was you had earlier segments when it was still, we were just under the impression, oh, it's a new AI that like she's getting commands from. She would say like, oh, like I don't like the way it talks to me. Like it's too straightforward and direct. Whereas
He would have
like,
never done this.
well, she would be like he would at least like argue with me, like if he didn't believe in like what I was doing or what we
Yeah.
were doing, and like he would start off like with, "All right, lady," and then right at the end, the AI turns around and is like, "Come on now, lady, like you got to
Yeah.
do this." And it's
Go
like,
get him, lady.
"Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I am lady."
Yeah, I liked that. That was
I
cool.
am the lady.
It's like, call me that again.
Please. I lied. I do have one more question. I was kind of really surprised at the end when you're fighting the Omega Metroid, and then SAX comes in and then saves you.
Oh, yeah. I guess I wasn't surprised. I was a little confused about, I don't know. That part was a little strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and this is the problem with me beating it so long ago now, is I can't remember the exact dialogue you get at the end, because I think they kind of tried to address like any questions people had about that, because like I want to say that either the AI or Samus, or maybe it's a conversation between the two where they're like, oh, that was weird, makes a comment about like, oh, maybe the X like virus like realized like no matter what you were gonna win, so
Oh, yes.
or like you were like the biggest like chance of success or something like that. Like no matter what, had the Metroid lived, it would have like ended the X.
Yeah, I must have missed that part.
That does sound familiar to me. I think you're right, because there's like that little debrief moment, like when your ship rises up, when you're like, oh my god, my ship isn't here, I gotta go. And then it's Omega X, and then SAX comes in, and you're like, what? And then like you have a little debrief after you take care of Omega X, and then it's like, I had a little help from your friends. I think that exchange happens like during that moment.
No, not saying the
Right?
little help from your friends, but it's in that like as he comes up and you get that like, oh, I got the ship powered up because of your friends. I think it's during that
Yeah.
exchange where he comments on like, oh, it must have like viewed you as like a perfect being type thing.
Oh, yeah.
That
See,
does sound familiar.
that
to me
went
now
right
that
over
you
my
say
head. I didn't really pay attention to that.
That's
I don't
fair.
think. But yeah, I was a little confused by the SAX character kind of just like
Outta
conceding to
nowhere.
you. Like,
Oh
all
my
right, I'll
God.
join the Prime
The amount
Samus.
Yeah.
the amount of fear I had when I was trying to defeat Omega X and then SAX ran in. I was like, oh my god, and now you're here. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, I beat that fight first try in like 30 seconds, I think. Because I just blasted missiles as fast as I could. And if you spam missiles fast enough, you'll like just melt through Omega Metroid's health.
Babe, don't rub it in. He can't shoot diagonally.
I'm gonna rub it in. It's funny.
Oh, what's a phrase? I don't know a phrase I was going to say. You can't do that. I'm dyslexic. Said I can't shoot at an angle.
What?
It's like that meme of like the chess meme of like the dad who's a rook and his wife is a bishop, and then the daughter like walks diagonally across the room after an argument. He walks sideways. He goes, Don't walk diagonally away from me. You're just like your fucking mother.
You're just like your fucking mother. No, that's so funny though. I love finding out that I just brute forced my way through these things, because again, like honestly, that just makes it even funnier that because the way I described it is exactly what I did from the last episode, just running at it, trying to like scare away a large animal, like
Yeah.
get out of here, and then backing up and then running back and like no.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I wish that we could all go and just watch you fight all of the bosses that required to shoot at an angle, and just to like see, I want to see how you did it.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Like a fucking champion.
Probably like the tiniest little bunny hops in the world so you could get the high. What do you mean?
no.
How are
He
you
had to
shaking?
run. He had to run forward to get the angle
To get
shot.
the angle, I had to be moving like and holding up at an angle. So I was either running towards or away from things, just blasting.
I would pay real life money to watch the replay of that fight and just watch you be like, God.
How many attempts do you think that one took you?
Honestly, it didn't take me that many. I think maybe by the third time, because I think the second attempt was when I realized that if you like pushed up on him, he wouldn't keep advancing. He would back up a little bit. So
okay.
then my third attempt, I was like, oh, I got you.
Yeah, I feel like
I didn't know that.
Omega Metroid was like boss adjacent for how it felt to me.
My silent tears.
Felt like part of the outro of the game, part of the credits almost.
I didn't know that he would back up if you were close to him.
Oh, I didn't have to worry about that.
I just kept shooting diagonally up at him, and he kept pushing me back, and then he'd get a little slash in and then run all the way back, and I was like, all right, I guess we're going again.
Yeah.
So that honestly is a good question too, is like, what fight we've covered what was your least favorite fight. What fight took you the most attempts?
Well, I think this is a perfect time to go into the next segment, which is ranking the bosses for ourselves. Because I already told you, Nightmare gave me the most trouble. I did that one the most, for sure. And what was yours?
Oh, for most trouble?
Or for how many attempts? Because I guess this would solidify, I would say probably most attempts solidifies like our worst boss, our hardest boss. So the tippy top of all of our lists. Mine is Nightmare X. That one took me the longest.
I'm like ashamed to say it. Because like, I know we all had issues with Gato, but Saris gave me the most trouble just in terms of like not even necessarily the boss fight, but then getting to the next save.
That doesn't surprise me because that one is very like, it's super fast paced and angled shots are huge.
Yeah.
So like the fact that one hurt so much for you, I'm going to keep rubbing it in because it's so funny.
Oh my God.
It's like not being able to pee straight.
You can pee straight?
So I pee at a 90-degree angle.
That's normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saris is really tough because when he starts moving really fast, you can't damage him. So then you're just trying to dodge and not lose health while also trying to damage this creature that you can't hit while he's zipping around the room. I've said it a million times, you guys. I'll keep saying it. My hardest fight was Big Spider. I hate that guy. And I hate that guy for a number of reasons. First and foremost, he picks you up, slams you into the ground, takes away 2 full bars of health. You can apparently get out of that, but that's besides the point. What the fuck's up with that? Also, can we talk about how after you kill the spider, he loses all his legs and then starts bouncing around the room?
That shit was dumb.
What the hell's going on with that? And then after he's done bouncing around the room, then you have to kill the Virus X floaty thingy like you do for all of the bosses? I was losing my fucking mind.
Did anyone else, so I don't know if this was specifically my problem. I got to the end of so many fights. I was like all the way down to my final little health bit. I had like 30 health in a lot of situations at the end of a fight. And the freaking virus killed me most of the time.
Yeah.
Saris.
Yeah.
Saris.
Because you're left with like just nothing.
Well, again, that's probably why I had such a hard time getting to the save after that. Is like I would get through the fight just clenched and then get to the virus and be bouncing around the room to not die and survive with like 15 energy remaining and be like, this is fine. This is cool. I'll make it. I'll make it. Never did.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I never really had a problem terribly so with the virus after you get the boss out of its like boss form. Because, and Chase, I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, she had to tell me this like halfway through the game.
Listeners, he's looking at me real wide-eyed and crazy right now. Chase, I really hope you know this because I don't know if you can take another one. But if you shoot the virus
with your beam,
just
like,
oh no, he doesn't know. He looks so pained. If you shoot the virus with your beam, it gives off little particle X's that you can pick up to heal yourself.
I didn't know that halfway through the game. So I feel your pain.
Might not be on any of the following podcasts. Look forward to my obituary.
No!
I'm gonna find the tallest building.
Yeah, that's how the Virus X kind of was like at the end of the boss fights for me. I was like, oh, thank God I'm here. I can jump around and fuck around and regain some health, and then I'll kill the boss. And so that's how I did a lot of the final moments of those fights. But what made the spider the hardest for me is that there's this tiered room section where all the roots are like growing all up in the room.
Oh, the run back.
Oh, and there are these fucking wasps in that room.
Yeah, I bypassed runbacks with the save state.
Oh my God. No.
Lucky.
Well, no, not even like before the boss fight. I mean, like, if you want to save that you have just defeated a boss, you got to find a save point after you defeat the boss.
No, I use save states after the boss fights too.
That is so evil. Are you kidding me?
Fucker.
You guys got to use the emulator. It's there for a reason. You know, I'll take whatever shame that gives me.
You should. You should.
I was on a mission and I was not going to run back and I was not going to redo boss fights.
I was on a mission called I don't fucking cheat.
It's not cheating.
It's cheating in my mind.
It's using your resources.
It might be a little bit.
But anyway, is it, like, do you guys know the wasps that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those guys.
I'm not going to lie. They kind of worked perfect for my inability to angle up because I would just run into the room angled up, spamming to shoot. So 9 times out of 10, it was already dead.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we have number 1 for all of us established. My hardest boss was Nightmare X. Chase, your hardest boss was Saris.
Yeah.
And Kelly, your hardest boss was Gato.
I hate that guy.
So now that we've established all of our first hardest bosses on our lists, my second hardest was your first hardest, Kelly. Gato X was my number 2. What about you guys?
I put SAX as my second hardest.
Me too.
She annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Very fast-paced fight. You had to really keep moving.
I think that fight got in my head more than anything.
For sure.
Like you build it. I mean, it's not an easy fight by any means. And every
No,
time you
yeah.
encounter her, you're like, oh, God. But
Yeah,
I think-
SAX was my number 3, so I'm not too far behind in that
Illegal.
opinion.
Illegal. Yeah.
Oh, I had that illegal moment, too. I didn't say it, but the first time you have to, like, or the time you have to run away, I was like, fuck, shit,
It's stressful.
Yeah, it is stressful.
Well, and like I think part of what makes the SAX fight so hard is because for anyone who has not played Metroid, SAX is basically like an X virus infected version of Samus. So she has every single ability that you have. So it's like you're trying to outdo someone who has the exact same movesets as you. It's really hard.
But I think the damage is like way boosted for
yes.
Oh,
SAX.
absolutely it is. Well, and it's tough because when you're trying to do your little somersault move around the map, if she hits you in a somersault and you're like bumper cars in it, you can accidentally stun lock yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And I did that a couple of times and I was getting so pissed.
I also experienced that.
I did see, maybe there are some benefits to using bricks as utensils because I didn't get stun locked.
Hell yeah.
So you said your third hardest was SAX?
Yeah. How about you guys?
What was your third hardest?
See, for me, it was Nightmare.
I put Nightmare too. Oh my God. What if our lists are the exact same except for Spider? Who was your number 4?
My number 4 was Neo Ridley.
I put Saris.
See, number 4 for me was Neo Ridley.
Neo Ridley was tough.
He was. It was a fun fight, though.
I did like that one.
I was really happy to see Ridley back.
I think that fight was the hardest fight that didn't frustrate me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neo Ridley was my number 5 because after I had faced Spider, who picks you up, when I was fighting Dragon, who picks you up, I was like, fuck you, I got your number. I was like, fuck you. Also, I can actually shoot you. You're cooked.
Said, don't grab me.
Yeah. I was like, I'm getting flashbacks. What was your number 5?
My number 5 was actually the security robot Box X.
Okay.
Because during that fight, if you fall in the water, you get electrocuted and you just keep taking damage. And I was having some issue figuring out that, again, sometimes I forget during boss fights that you still have the beam. And blasting down those missiles was not my first. In the security robot X fight, it will shoot missiles at you. They're a little different than the missiles that I think it shoots at you in the first fight, if I remember correctly. But you can shoot them down with your lasers. I didn't realize that right away. So I was just trying to
Oh no. Oh no.
I was just trying to dodge those and not get knocked up the ceiling and crawl over and shoot down. Chase, it seems like you may have not realized that you could shoot those missiles down.
Dude.
For listeners, Chase gave me the same look that he gave Kelly a second ago.
I'm gonna just replay this to see if the fights are easier.
Dude, you're gonna be able
should.
to. You're gonna be able to get close to 3 hours if you play with the right strats.
Dude, oh my god.
I think you should give it a go and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, you should look at all of the intended strategies for all the boss fights and see if you can speedrun this thing in like a true speedrunner time.
I'm gonna put myself on some leaderboards.
I seriously don't know if I'm ever going to get over the fact that you did not know that Nightmare impacts gravity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I cannot believe that.
I think it said that the
Yeah, it
navigation
did.
told you before the fight.
Well, maybe I just thought that was flavor text.
So that was my number 5. What about you guys? You already told your 5.
Yeah,
right?
number 5 was Ridley for me.
So for me, number 5 is where Gato, our spider, jumps in.
Pretty high up on or I guess
Like a little
middling,
higher than like middle of the tier.
Yeah.
He was a huge pain, but I mean, you avoided what I would probably say was the worst part of the fight, which wasn't even really the fight. It was the run back.
Mhm.
So he's still up there, but he definitely doesn't deserve like a super high spot.
Well, and I also avoided.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I just mean in terms of like, for me, the run back was like the most frustrating part of it.
Yeah.
Well, and I also got out of being picked up by it, which I think was also probably a frustrating thing. And it's not like I intuitively did this. Like it was a frustration move of just like freaking out, like, and then I wiggled my way out of its grasp, on my 4th or 5th try. So
That's an interesting commentary on how I think we react to things in video games differently.
Illegal.
Is that you panic button mash, and that I'm either torn between panicking and screaming illegal or just sitting in absolute despair and doing nothing.
And there's me, and I'll just throw myself at it again and again.
All right, so number 6.
My number 6 was Ceres, the dragon boy, or I guess serpent boy.
My number 6 was pre-X-infected security robot.
Really?
Me too.
I had a hard time with that guy. I could not hit him without hitting his exoskeleton where the missiles would just bounce off. I had a really tough time with it.
Yeah, you really gotta get right over top of it.
You gotta...
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say... be like, you really gotta do those angled shots.
Oh no, I didn't use angled shots for that fight at all. I always shot straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for me, that one, and like especially like between the two security robots, I don't know why the first form
It was
gave
just
me
harder.
a lot more difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, Chase. Me too.
I think it was just maybe the extra tension of the electrified water that was just giving me a little, like, it was playing mind games on me.
Yeah.
Sure.
My number 7 was the first iteration of security robot.
Okay. My number 7 was the Omega Metroid.
Yeah.
I did not think the Omega Metroid was too difficult. I can't lie.
I mean, I didn't think it was the easiest thing because I also didn't know how to fight it.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it only took me like 3, maybe 4 tries. So in the grand scale of things, was not.
So that was
like-
also your number 7?
Yeah.
My number 8 was Barrier Core X. I don't know why the fuck that thing gave me so much trouble. I think it was, you have to fight that thing on platforms, and by that point, you don't have any way to move quickly in water. So if you fall off the platform, you're in the water, and then it's just like pushing you into a corner with its little like projectile spinny things.
Yeah.
I was just having a hard time. And then that was the first fight where you have to use the charged beam. I, again, forgot about that for most of my attempt, and it took me a lot of banging my head into that one to realize. And that's why it's not like lower on the list, because it's not like it was actually hard. I just didn't know what I needed to do at first. But after I did figure it out, it didn't take me too long. I was just it was pissing me off.
Yeah.
My number 8 was the X-infected iteration of the security robot. I literally was just fucking hanging out on the monkey bars above the electrified water, just shooting missiles down at that guy. I didn't have a care in the world. I was like,
Damn.
whatever,
Same.
dude. Yawn.
Same position too. Number 8 is security robot.
I was kind of joking. I didn't think our list would actually be so similar.
Dude.
Yeah, we've had a lot of matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9 for me was Plant Core X. Because, I don't know, that one was just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't hard. I was just like, it took me maybe 2 tries, but I was just getting pissed off because of all of the little, like, pollen things that it kept spitting out at you.
Yeah.
And then I would get knocked off the platform and get sucked into the flower. And I was just like, get the fuck off of me.
Yeah. My number 9 is Plant Core as well, because same reason I kept getting grabbed by flowers.
Yeah.
And
Well, because they kind of suck you off the platform, too.
Yeah. And like that fight to me was Cuphead. You doing so much jumping around, trying to avoid projectiles and shoot and not get sucked off by flowers.
Oh, no.
Dude, my final, like, strategy that I used is I was just pissed off because my first attempt I almost took it down. I got it all the way to its like final. I died to the virus. My second attempt, I just stood on the like closest platform to the plant core, and you're gonna love this, Chase. I angled shot.
No.
I spammed angled like beam and then straight beam to the left to take out the pollen. And then while the pollen was being fired out again, I would turn and blast at the plant core.
Oh,
and I just stood in that same spot and went for that whole fight.
See, I probably had a harder time with the plants on that one because I couldn't stand still to angle shot.
Yeah, well, and you're getting like pulled in by the flowers more often because you're closer
all
to the edge.
time.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your guys' minds here in a second, but before we move on to that, my number 9 was Barrier Core, because when we were looking at the bosses from Metroid Fusion, I took one look at Barrier Core and said, I don't remember that. I must not have had too hard of a time with it. Because with that one, I didn't even really remember that you couldn't really do damage with the charge shot until you just said that, Sam. Was that one of the bosses?
No, you had to use charge.
No, I know.
Charge beam.
I know, but I'm saying, like, was Barrier X, that big blob of a guy, was that one of the bosses where you could just normal shoot him and he would spew out Virus X like other Virus X's?
I have no idea.
Anyway, regardless, my number 9 was the Barrier Core. I did not remember having a tough issue with that boss at all. My number 10 was the Plant Core.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you guys my strat. You're going to either be very impressed or very pissed or both. I had a super duper easy time with that because if you super bomb, it makes all of the plant projectiles go away, and then you can just stand and shoot the big plant guy. So
Wait,
you just
it kills the plants, or like it just takes them all out of the air?
No, it just takes all of the pollen away. It essentially removes all of the projectiles from the air. So if you just super bomb every couple of seconds and then just shoot at the plant, you're fine.
Yeah,
I had the easiest time in the world with that. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, it's all right. It still was number 9 for me, so it wasn't too hard.
Well, and that's one of those things where it's at no point does it tell you to use it for that, but it's neat to see that like there's utility to some of these abilities, that it's just a matter of
figuring it
use
out.
it.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something that's really fun about talking to you guys about all this, is that we all have obviously very different play styles of the game. And it's so interesting to be like, God, I had such a hard time with this boss. It's like, oh, I didn't. I just wiggled back and forth and then he dropped me. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's very funny.
My number 10 was the first boss, Arachnus X, and only because it was the first boss fight, and I had never played a Metroid game, and I was kind of just figuring out what things that it was wanting me to do. So for a bit, I was just like troubleshooting, basically, figuring out like, oh, how do I damage it? Oh, I have to do this. Oh, okay. And then, I figured it out pretty quick. But we got 2 bosses left, so I had to put this one here just because it took me a little longer than the other 2 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 for me was the Barrier Core. And that kind of honestly the same of I genuinely don't even remember
Yeah.
Barrier Core.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is kind of a testament to couldn't have been that hard and couldn't have left that much of an impression on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, me forgetting to use Charge Beam on most of the game, like, I knew it was there. I just forgot about it. Like, taking the time to hold down the button was just not something I thought to do. My number 11 was the Zazaby X, the little like weird tall guy.
That's what I
So
put.
yeah, we don't have to describe it with the words I used.
I think you said the dildo boss.
I say the alien
Yeah.
dildo.
Yeah, that guy was so easy because he literally just kind of hops around. You stand under him, you shoot up, you
in.
run away.
Yep.
Whatever. No big deal.
Oh, I do remember this one.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he jumps up and as he's falling down, he, like, spreads his weird... He has, like, a
And his
like
vagina
octopus
gets really big.
leg
Oh, God.
things, yeah, that opens to, like, a beak. Yeah.
Well, and I actually did. I shot up into it, and then I also... I shot up into it, and then I also... if you go Morph Ball and it sucks you up in, you can drop bombs inside of it.
You can get picked up by it in Morph Ball?
Yeah.
I don't think I should be allowed to play games anymore because I just did not interact with 90%
I
of the
could
mechanics.
be remembering this incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure that I just dropped a bunch of bombs in it.
Chase, I think this is my favorite new ongoing bit now.
What mechanics of the game does Chase just skip? This is going to be an ongoing thing on the podcast. We'll see which game mechanics you just don't realize exist.
It's like a moment of every episode where you go, and I don't know if you guys know this, pause, big
And then
side
Chase
eye at
just-
Chase.
So what?
What's the gopher meme? Or the groundhog or what? Yeah.
Wait, what did you put for your number 11, Chase? Did you say?
Zazaby.
Yeah.
Oh, we all, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
number
That's
11 we
our
all
first-
matched up.
Yeah. Okay, number 12.
Number 12 for me was Omega Metroid. Like I said earlier, it kind of just felt like part of the credits of the game. I just melted it and then got in my ship.
Just spun the block and said bye.
Number 12 for me was Arachnus.
The first boss.
The first fight in the whole game. Because, well, we established early on, or we established last time that we talked about Metroid when I was here, that early on that I had already discovered wall jumping. So I was just having the easiest time of my life with that guy. Like, he would walk up to me, try to slash me, I would jump over the wall, or jump against the wall, jump over him, and
Yeah.
then just blast him.
Well, that was the whole mechanic of that fight. There were ladders on the wall for that fight. You could jump on and grab the ladders and then
oh,
jump
guys,
off.
I think I'm lying.
I mean, you could have done it the other way too,
I'm gonna
but
say, yeah.
I did it
Guys-
the same way.
Guys, this fight was so easy for me that I remember nothing about it.
I was going to say, yeah, my number 12 is Arachnus too, because when we pulled up the boss list, I didn't even recognize him. Doesn't
didn't
even look
either.
like he belongs in this game.
Yeah.
Looks like a Pokemon
I would say, I'm not
or a
familiar.
Digimon.
Well, I was going to say it looks like, I can't think of any of their names now. It's been so long, but it looks like one of the Godzilla monsters.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I literally, well, when we just pulled up the list here at our recording table so we could make a list of our rankings of difficulty, Sam said, oh, Arachnus. And I said, oh, is that the spider? And he said, no, that's the first boss, and showed me a picture. And I said, oh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So who
fair for
invited
that
that
to be.
guy?
Yeah.
That's fair for that to be your guys' easiest one. I just don't know why it took me a couple tries.
Well, I think you, exactly like you said, you were kind of just trying to figure it out still.
Yeah.
Plus, let's be real, I played so much Samus in Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
I don't think that translates.
It makes me feel better.
correlation.
It makes me feel better.
But yeah, there's our rankings of all of the bosses in Metroid Fusion. You guys have any other thoughts on the game?
Just that this has shaken my trust in myself to such a degree. I was not ready for this. This whole episode has felt like a call out.
Chase, do you know how to play games?
No.
What was that about
Literally?
game sense?
Well, listen, guys, I just gotta say, is that I really enjoyed playing Metroid Fusion. It genuinely was a really good experience for me to be like, oh my god, wait, I don't think I've ever actually played a Metroidvania before. And it's been super fun to, like I said last time that we were talking about this, it's been such a treat for me to not have played any genuine Metroidvania games before this and start with the OG before
Yeah.
moving on to something
Well,
else.
This isn't the OG. This
Like,
is
well,
the
one
third
of
Metroid game.
You know what I mean, though. Like one of the OGs
Yeah.
that like
Yes.
named the game
One of the
category.
namesakes of Metroidvania as
Plus,
a genre.
I gotta say, it's the gift that keeps on giving because I knew that you guys were gonna like playing the game, and I had no idea how much enjoyment I was gonna get over. Oh, did you guys know this? And seeing Chase look absolutely fucking devastated.
Yeah, that's been pretty good.
I've truly never been more mortified. Like, you know, not not that I think it's anything to like brag about. Like, oh, I'm good at games, but like, I thought I was pretty good at games.
No.
I've played a lot of games.
Well, I think you still can brag about it because
Yeah,
you are
you
still
still
the,
beat it the
I was about to
fastest.
say you still beat it the fastest. You didn't have just one handicap. You had so many.
It's gold.
Dude,
Gold.
I might
Oh my
actually cry.
God. No, don't.
That's so funny.
That is so funny. My face hurts.
Well, as we watch Chase just wallow in his shame, that's something we're all going to have to experience here because now we're all going to pick
Oh God.
3 games out of our library. We're going through our games of shame. So who wants to go first in their naming of the games of shame on their 3 or on their list?
As seemingly the most shameful Metroid player, I suppose I'll throw my first one out. Going all the way back to literally when I started my Steam account.
Oh, no.
The very first game I ever bought for my Steam account, Arma 2, purchased July 4th, 2012, with a playtime of 0.
Oh my God. That's really funny.
One of my games of shame is actually very similar to that. It's the first ever game I bought for myself when I started my Steam account because I got my first computer that could support Steam in 2021. And it's a game called Thief.
Oh my gosh. That was one of the contenders on my shame list.
Like an original Thief?
There's
or,
a Thief remake.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's so funny because I'm pretty sure in one of our first episodes I referenced the Thief remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it was very on sale when I first started my Steam account, and I was like, ooh, I like playing like roguelike thieving games where I'm a thief. I would really like this, I think. And I stand by that. I really think I would like it. But the last time I played it was November 19th of 2021, and it has 70 minutes of playtime. And the reason I didn't play it is because the PC was really bad, and it had really terrible frames.
So if we're going, Chase, you said 2012
Yeah.
was the year. One of mine also was added to my Steam library in 2012, December 11th, 2012. Metro 2033. And not only do I have that game and I have no playtime in it, I have Metro Exodus, purchased in 2020, 0 playtime. Metro Last Light Redux, purchased in 2018, 0 playtime. Those are the 3 Metro games that I have, but I have different variations of them in my library as such. I have Metro Last Light Redux, Metro Complete Edition, Metro Exodus PC Enhanced Edition, Metro Exodus, Metro 2033 Redux, and Metro 2033.
Oh my God.
All of which have 0 playtime.
No.
Never installed a single one of them.
Why do you keep buying
So
them?
that's my series of shame because they're in my wheelhouse and I want to play them eventually. That's why this
seem
is
cool.
shameful. That's why this is shameful. And I'll go again.
Oh gosh.
The next one, this is actually even longer ago. This shame goes back not further than my Steam account, but goes all the way back to PS3. This game is a game that I bought and never played on PS3, Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. I always wanted to play it. I owned it on PS3 the entire time I had a PS3, or not the entire time, but for a large chunk of when I owned a PS3. And I just recently, 3 years ago, in 2022, bought it again on Steam and still haven't played it. It is installed on my Steam Deck. I'm going to get to it.
This one I have an action plan for.
I also have the second game, never played.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. There was a sequel to Ni no Kuni?
Yeah.
Wow. I am...
Ni no Kuni
playing it when I get home.
No,
Let me find it.
I'm just like blown away. I didn't realize. Like I knew that Ni no Kuni was did super well, incredibly popular, and it's funny that I've been talking to you about getting into Digimon, which
Oh yeah.
very different, but somebody had also thrown out Ni no Kuni as something for me to look into because it is apparently like a monster collector.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the second one's Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom.
Oh.
And I've wanted to play these games for, over a decade. I haven't touched them. How about you guys? What's your next?
My next one is, so I kind of am jumping back and forth because out of the 3 options I have, 2 of them I have played minimally. This is the one that I have not played at all, that I know I would love, and I just have not gotten around to it. It's called Neva. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's like a smaller indie game.
Very artsy.
Yes, it won a bunch of awards recently. Like, when I say recently, I mean like 2 years ago, I think. It's about this, I don't know what it's about.
Chase, for context, here it is in my library with 0 minutes played as well.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? I bet it's in your library because I bought it and we're in the same Steam family.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I was like, I didn't remember buying this, but that doesn't make a difference. It might be in there anyway.
No, I for sure bought that one.
That makes sense. That actually makes me feel a little better because I was like, I don't remember buying that at all.
No, I bought it. That wasn't you. It was me. What's your next one, Chase?
My next one, and this is one that at this point I don't really think I have any excuse not to like go back and try and get into because they just recently came out with a new game in this series. And when that came out, I'm pretty sure they like released an enhanced, updated version of the one that I have. Because the one that I had was actually like unplayable, like just wouldn't launch. Stalker Clear Sky.
Oh, yeah.
Always wanted to get into the Stalker games, and then when I finally pulled the trigger on Clear Sky, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like wasn't really like the devs' fault.
But you didn't recover from that.
I was gonna say, but yeah, like kind of immediately killed my like drive to get into it to the point that like I knew the new one was coming out like literally like last year, and I was like, that's cool. Not for me though. That has 4 minutes from me attempting to launch it.
That's honestly, good try.
Said I tried.
Yeah.
My last one is a game that I was really excited for when I saw its trailer, a game that I bought on release and haven't installed ever, and still want to go back and play at some point. A Plague Tale Innocence.
I have heard really good things about those.
Yeah. I think it reminded me of, in the trailer, I remember, because I was a big Last of Us fan, and like you play an older sister taking your younger brother through a horrible series of events, and I was like, oh, that's interesting story, similar vibes maybe. And I remember watching the trailer and seeing all the rats and being like, whoa, that's crazy. And then I never got around to playing it. How about you, Kelly?
Well, I was going to say, what's funny is that I have not heard of any of the games of shame that either of you have said. My third and final game of shame is probably my biggest game of shame because you guys know me. I love Tomb Raider. I talk about how much I love Tomb Raider all the time. Even those certain parts that we won't talk about scare the shit out of me.
Oh.
Stop. My third and final game of shame that I bought for my Xbox back in like 2018 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
And you haven't played that one?
I have not fucking played that game.
That's really funny.
I played like a tiny bit of it and then I stopped playing it.
Which one have you played?
I've played Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and I've played Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
Shadow, that's comes after Rise,
yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay, because I remembered when like the first of the modern Tomb Raiders came out, and then I feel like when I saw Shadow announced, I literally thought that it was just like already a remake, so I completely wrote it off, not apparently realizing that it was a continuation.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I actually remember exactly where I stopped playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider when I was like, I actually, no, I lied. I could not have been 18 years old because I got my Xbox when I was like 16. So I probably was like 17. Haha. And where I stopped playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider is where Lara gets separated from her friend Jonah very briefly. And like, they're just like on opposite sides of a stone wall, so she can like still hear him, he can still hear her, and then she starts getting attacked by a jaguar, and so she has to like defend herself and kill this jaguar in complete Tomb Raider fashion while Jonah's like, Lara, I'm coming to get you, and it stressed me out so bad. And then I haven't played it since.
And this is one of your games of shame?
Yeah.
See, I don't even have a goddamn clue about any of the gameplay in any of the games I have on my shame list because I haven't touched them.
Okay, well, the reason that it's still a game of shame for me is because like that's very iconic Tomb Raider gameplay. Is that Lara is trying to defeat a wild animal that is attacking her by herself while members of her crew are inexplicably beyond her reach and unable to help until she miraculously kills said wild beast.
I think the shame mostly comes from the fact that you're a self-proclaimed Tomb Raider fan.
This is like the Sly Cooper fan thing all over.
Yeah, this is like me thinking I was a fan of Sly Cooper but playing the demo of it.
Okay, wait, that's different though because I played all the way through Tomb Raider Definitive and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
All right.
And I
So that's
love those
fair.
games. They're really good. Even though I don't like the wolves. They freak me out.
My final game of shame. This is one you commented that you hadn't heard of the other games on our lists. I'll give you all the money in my wallet if you've heard of this one.
Okay.
Sam, this doesn't apply to you because I've told you about this one. It's a game called, and pardon I believe it's Latin.
Can I get... oh, never mind.
But In Verbis Virtus.
Never heard of that. Even though you told me about it, I don't remember.
It is, this might jog your memory. It's it's very old. I would have to look at like when it released, but I know I purchased it in 2015 and even then it was like, this is dated software. But it's a game centered around your mic, of like, you know, I know, and I think this is what you thought I was talking about when I first brought it up, but there's a new game currently out called Mage Arena.
Oh, I remember this conversation now.
Where like the whole thing is like, you don't just like press buttons to use like your abilities. You'll like walk around flipping through your spell book and shouting like magic missile, fireball.
Whoa.
And that, I mean, very different. So like, I'm not going to be like, go out and buy In Verbis Virtus. It's just like it.
Right.
But it was like that of you are, I believe, like an apprentice, like wizard trying to come up, and you are essentially like on your journey to, I believe, like essentially like qualify to be a wizard. And so you're like making your way through this ziggurat, and like as you're going, you're getting like new spells unlocked. Like I believe the first one you get is like Luma, which just creates light around you. But it super cool concept to me, of like a game that is built around like, yeah, I'm walking with my controller, but all my action is coming from like those panic moments, like you shouting illegal, illegal. Imagine like that impacting your moment to moment gameplay.
Oh God.
That's like that VR game where you have to, I told you about that VR game where you actually have to like use a wand to cast spells and like draw runes in the air.
Yes.
Yeah. Similar like gameplay shenanigans, I'm sure, to that, where you're like just like, oh shit, fuck, wait, oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I would fare very well in games like that.
Oh, I don't think so either.
See, and so I've only got 57 minutes in it, which is like, I mean, for our games of shame, that's a lot of time.
That's pretty good.
But it very much a product of its time, of the like mic pickup ability wasn't like really quite there. I mean, I would be like throating the mic going Luma, 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 and nothing would happen.
Exactly,
and then I would
that,
like,
yeah.
and then like there'd be that one time where it's like Luma, and
then
it
it
finally
would
is like, wah, and you're like,
You have
how
to
did
say it
that
with
work?
fear in your heart.
Yeah.
That's the only way spells work.
But like, That is one that'll probably remain a game of shame. I doubt that that's one that I'll take the time to return to, but
That's fair.
that is like a style of game I would love to see done
Yeah.
better than like no offense to Mage Arena. I've played it. It is fun, but it is also not like a narrative driven game. So to like see something single player narrative driven that has like a mechanic like that would just be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, games like Phasmo where they utilize the mic, like you could do a lot of cool stuff with that in a single player game where you like need to use your voice for stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of shame. But my friends, I think that's been this episode of Resync. If you've made it to the end, thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, you can follow us at ResyncCast on Blue Sky. That's ResyncCast. And you can find Resync on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Thank you for listening to the penultimate episode of Resync Season 1. We've got a few more things planned for the year, but this is things are going to start kind of coming out in a little bit of a slower release schedule. We're going to be taking a break for the end of the year, basically. Chase, why don't you tell them what we have planned?
Yeah. For those of you interested, keep an eye out on our YouTube channel as we have a special Halloween-themed episode coming up where I'm going to throw Sam into some spooky situations, and I think we're going to be starting that off with some Dead Space.
Yeah, I think Sam is Scared is going to be maybe we'll see if it's a recurring annual Halloween type thing, but some games of shame. I've had Dead Space all 3 games for a couple of years now. Haven't touched them. So
we're going to get those out of the backlog of shame.
Oh yeah. And then after that, which will be dropping on Halloween, the day of, the next thing in our year will be the Resync Year in Review, which we will be dropping on Christmas Eve. We'll be talking about all of this year's Resync hosts' top 3 games of the year for them. Not necessarily games that came out this year, but the games that we really resonated with that we played this year. But yeah, that'll be coming. Look out for that. If you would like to give us a review, that would be really nice. If you would like to rate, share with your friends,
share with your moms.
Share with your mom.
Until next time. Goodbye. The vibes.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Resynchronization complete.